How do you feel about Cardi B?
What about her?
About Cardi B admitting that she
Good for her.
used to
F***
wait, no, that she used to drug and rob men?
Good for her.
Good for her?
Good for her. Who gives a f***? They got robbed. They can get that back. They had all the money to buy this. They can buy it again. We're not even going to start comparing getting drugged and robbed for some watches or some money to getting sexually. I'm never going to be like, oh, we should be talking about Cardi B when it talks about like all the sexual going on. She didn't sexually them.
Okay, so the perspective that she holds is that it's totally fine for a woman to rob and steal money from men because in the world, men are doing things that are worse. She names another man not related to Cardi B, who she believes committed sexual assault. Therefore, that somehow justifies Cardi B doing something that, again, every single person in the world should condemn.
Oh, okay. Now let's just get one thing straight. Robbing someone, regardless of gender, is wrong. Period. End of story. And trying to justify it by comparing it to other crimes, I mean, that's just absurd. We are not playing the who had it worse game here. Wrong is wrong, plain and simple. And let's not forget the potential consequences of really drugging someone. We are talking about serious stuff here, you know. Who knows what those men went through when they were knocked out? Who knows? It's a violation of their trust and their safety, and it's not something to take lightly. Now, in the comment section, we had some folks saying that, well, let's just say it's a mixed bag. Some folks are calling out, you know, the absurdity of the guest response, while others are trying to downplay the seriousness of the situation. But let's not forget, accountability should really apply to everyone, regardless of gender. So let's see what the community has got to say about this. The first comment is, don't matter which one is worse. Mad is still bad. Of course, it's common sense. So I don't understand why the lady's response was so erratic and out of order. Like, does that condone the fact that Cardi B was committing a crime just because men have done worse? Well, just like a normal human will say, is she really serious? Like this comment says. Who hurt this girl? Yeah, definitely. She seemed hurt. It seems like probably a man must have hurt her badly. Maybe dropped her and say, oh, I don't want the relationship anymore because possibly she might be toxic or whatever. I don't know her. I don't want to pass any judgment, but her response really didn't sit well with me. It's not totally fine. She's saying stop comparing SA to robbing items. Humans and items shouldn't be compared. Of course not. Then from Mr. Sinister. So if men did the same thing without sexual assault, would it be okay? It's a good question. These are the kind of questions when you ask, like, no one has a response to, especially the people who think like this lady. This is what our society has come to. If you can paint yourself as a victim, you can justify almost anything. That's the state we are. And it's not just this one situation. It's happening everywhere, in every walks of life, everything. So long as you can make yourself a victim, you can get away with anything. I don't know why Cardi B was not even questioned about this whole incident. So if men did the same thing without sexual assault, it will be okay? That's a question. Yeah, it will never be okay. You will be held accountable. But when some specific persons do it, well, it's fair game and no one bothers to question them. This is what our society has come to. If you can paint yourself as a victim, you can justify almost anything. Yeah, painting yourself as a victim, that helps the establishment. That's very important. Let's complete it. As a victim that helps the establishment, you can get away with anything. No one bothered to even question Cardi B. Like, you said this thing. What really happened? I investigate and try to get to those men whom she robbed. No accountability. Well, that's the state of our society nowadays. If those guys speak on getting drugged, they'll get called cloud chasers or feminine. That's the issue. Men don't usually come forward. Like they say, oh, women should come forward when they are being abused. But for men, they don't usually come forward because of the whole masculine energy thing. And they have the perception of how are they going to see me if I say this lady drugged and robbed me, things like that. So it's making many men to be silent on some of these issues. Two wrongs don't make a right. Wrong is wrong. Once again, the double standard rears its head. Of course. If you're a stranger to this world, well, things have been changing in the past, I'll say 5 to 10 years. Okay? There are two, I'll say, system of justice. So if you don't know that, well, now you know. Someone who is okay with what Cardi B did means that that person is willing to do the same thing. Major red flag. Of course. Of course. It's all subconscious, right? It flows. Cardi B did this. You support them? Then probably is what you're thinking of doing. Or if the situation arises, that's the exact thing you will do. So birds of the same feathers, they flock together. So there are lots and lots of comments here. I cannot go through them. I'm just looking for the top comments to react on. But well, that woman is the biggest misandrist I know. She is definitely operating on a different world. It's all the same. I mean, someone said it boils down to one of many things, and the whole, it's better to be liked than right kind of situation. Yeah. When you fall on the right side of the establishment, you get away with anything. A similar thing I'm trying to say. But these comments really look interesting. Sometimes before watching these videos, I go straight to the comment section. I know many of you do, so don't accuse me of going to the comment section and reading, because all of us want to know what everyone thinks with situations like this. And it's really interesting, and it's all good for us to share the information. Let's know where our society is at right now so that we can know how to live our lives. Anyway, let's just compare this to another situation that we all know about. Remember when Rick Ross faced this backlash for controversial lyrics about drugging a woman? Well, he lost endorsements, deals, issued apologies, and also faced some scrutiny for his words. Yet, here we are, with Cardi B admitting to similar actions. And where is the same level of outrage? I just called that out. It's some kind of, it's really, really a double standard, plain and simple. And it's about time that we hold everyone accountable for their actions, regardless of who they are or what gender they identify as. Let's stop all of this. So what do you think, guys? Should Cardi B face consequences? This is an old video. And she did it a long time ago. But should she face consequences for her past actions? Here we've got Cardi B in the spotlight now, and the topic of discussion is her past actions, particularly her admission of drugging and robbing men. Now, when the male host asked about Cardi B to this lady and her past, well, let's just say the response was very interesting. You just heard it. All of us heard it. The female guest's reaction. She was like, yeah, it's good for her. Who cares if those guys got robbed? They can just buy their stuff again. I mean, seriously. This is the kind of mentality we are dealing with here. Just brushing off criminal behavior like it's no big deal. Jeez.